As we continue to take a look back at the Buffalo Bills 2020 NFL Draft, we take a look at their fourth round pick, Gabriel Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Billievers Talk. My name is Joe and welcome as we revisit the 2020 NFL Draft and take a look at how the rookies did during the 2020 NFL season. Again, thank you guys for joining me. My name is Joe. If you're new to this channel, guys, please be sure to hit that subscribe button for continual Buffalo Bills and Buffalo sports news. Also going to keep you up to date on everything going on this off season. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. What grade would you give Gabriel Davis? He had a pretty good rookie season, especially for a fourth round draft pick. So we're going to talk about Gabe Davis just a little bit here and then also grade him at the end of this video. So Gabriel Davis was a draft pick for the Buffalo Bills, wide receiver out of the University of Central Florida, picked up in the fourth round, pick 128 overall. And when the Buffalo Bills picked him up, it wasn't much of a surprise to a lot of people in Bills Mafia, and we're very excited. This was a very deep wide receiver class, so we knew we could get a good wide receiver late, and we did that with Gabriel Davis. Now, we knew he'd be fourth on the depth chart behind Stefon Diggs, who we just got in a trade during the 2020 offseason, John Brown, and Cole Beasley. So we knew that he would be fourth. However, as the season went on, John Brown missed some time, Cole Beasley missed some time. So you saw Gabriel Davis kind of put into different situations throughout the season. And he really didn't disappoint for the most part. Now, there were some games where you wish we would have seen more out of him and maybe more consistency throughout the season. But overall, not a bad season for Gabriel Davis. He did play in all 16 of the Buffalo Bills contests, played 73% of offensive snaps, and he also played 8% of special team snaps during the regular season. So he was definitely someone who got a lot of usage throughout the season. In 2020, his stat line looks like this: 35 receptions for 599 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a 17.1 yards per reception average. Pretty good for a rookie wide receiver. That 7 TD number was second among rookie wide receivers in the NFL, so good job for him. Only behind Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings getting Justin Jefferson out of that deal. They got that draft pick out of the deal that they made with the Buffalo Bills for Stefon Diggs. Gabriel Davis had 10 20-plus yard receptions. In fact, Week 17, where he set career high in yards when we played the Miami Dolphins, he had only 2 receptions, but he had 107 yards and a touchdown, averaging more than 53 yards per reception. Pretty way to go out of the regular season. Now, he did have some issues throughout the season as well. He had 3 drops this year, and drops continue to plague the Buffalo Bills overall. That's a 4.8% drop percentage. Not terrible, but anytime you see a drop, you get a little disappointed, a little disheartened. He had a few more drops in the postseason as well that may have ended up costing the Buffalo Bills. He had 9 games with 2 receptions or less. So we talk about some of the good games they had, like against Seattle, games like that, against Miami. He had 9 games with 2 receptions or less. He had 2 games, one against New England and one against the Cardinals, where he had no receptions at all. So even though he played in those games, was targeted a few times, he did not have a single reception. So again, a little lack of consistency out of Gabriel Davis. We want to see more from him in that regard as things go on. But the good thing about Gabriel Davis, as most of Bills Mafia has talked about, is the production that he gave us. And again, for a 4th round draft pick, pretty good production when you talk about 35 receptions throughout the season. It might make John Brown a little more expendable, right? If you talk about moving Gabe Davis up to that number 2 role. Again, remember John Brown missing a majority of the Buffalo Bills 2020 NFL season. So we got to see Gabe Davis in that number 2 role quite a bit, and at first it didn't seem to be clicking, right? At first it seemed like there were some issues and that the offense kind of stalled when John Brown was not in the offense. As the season wore on, especially later in the year, you talk about the 49er game, you talk about some other games, the Steelers game, you talk about those type of games, the offense seemed to do pretty well with Gabriel Davis as the number 2 wide receiver. So it's going to leave some questions this offseason as far as if the Buffalo Bills are going to keep John Brown, if they're going to try to renegotiate his contract, or if they're going to release him. Buffalo Bills releasing John Brown would save them $9 million in cap space, and that's a big number, especially in a year where everyone's strapped for cash. So to have a rookie wide receiver, a guy who's under his first contract, so it's a manageable contract, a guy that's a 4th round draft pick, which means the contract's even for less, that might make the Buffalo Bills very interested in making Gabriel Davis the number 2 wide receiver moving forward and having John Brown no longer a part of this team. So that's something to keep an eye on when we're talking about Gabe Davis going on to the 2021 NFL season. For me, I give Gabriel Davis a B grade. I thought, again, he had a pretty good season. However, it was up and down, a little lack of consistency, and I want to see more out of him in 2021. Some things that I like about him, again, his play may make John Brown expendable. For a 4th round draft pick, you got to like the production and value that we got out of him. Again, remember, this was a very deep wide receiver class. You talk about CeeDee Lamb, you talk about Justin Jefferson, you talk about a lot of big names in the 2020 NFL draft as far as wide receivers go. He was 2nd among rookies in touchdowns, and he was 9th in rookie yardage. So not too bad for Gabriel Davis. Again, a guy out of the 4th round. He only had 1 fumble this season. It's one that he recovered. Now, if you remember in the postseason, he also had a fumble against the Colts. Again, he did recover that one as well, but he does need to make sure he holds onto the ball a little bit better, but overall pretty good with that, and I'm not upset when you fumble it, when you recover the fumble. We've seen Josh Allen fumble a bunch of times, so if we're not going to get on Josh Allen harder for fumbling, I'm not going to get on Gabriel Davis hard for having 1 fumble. Again, we did talk, he had 3 drops during the regular season, a little inconsistent at times when it comes to his play. Decent blocker. He did a good job blocking in the open field at times. I want to see a little bit of improvement in that area as well, but not too bad. Again, Gabriel Davis, 4th round draft pick number 128 by the Buffalo Bills, giving him a B grade for his rookie season. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you agree with my grade of Gabriel Davis? Do you think he should be ranked higher, maybe a little bit lower? I like the B grade. Again, I think there's some improvement that can be made. But overall, good rookie season for a 4th round draft pick. I look forward to seeing what he can do in the future. And I look forward to having you guys join me again as we continue this 2020 rookie class recap, update, grading, if you will, series. So that way next episode will be about Jake Fromm. Obviously, there won't be much to talk about there. And then we'll talk about Tyler Bass. We'll talk about Dane Jackson. We'll talk about every single 2020 NFL draft pick. We already did AJ Epenesa, and we did Zack Moss. So make sure you check those videos out if you haven't already. Again, make sure you like this video, leave a comment, give me your grade for Gabriel Davis. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.